All right, we back with another one. Like you thought it wasn't gonna be no another one. So this time I'm gonna stay on subject, hopefully. But I did enjoy that last conversation. If you missed it, it's gone. I had to delete it. But it was really important. If you've seen it, you should have learned something, right? If you've seen that last conversation, then you really seen something, okay? You need to learn from that. There's a lot of info in that. YouTube need to expand and have a more raw. It need to be more raw. You know what I'm saying? They need to allow us to do some more raw stuff because people need to see reality sometimes. You know what I mean? It took me a little while to get back because when I got off, my phone was ringing. One of my boys was watching this shit. He said, "Damn, Ralph, you showed him your zipper and shit." I'm like, "Yeah." He was like, "Damn, man." He started talking about his bullet wounds and shit. And he was like, "Man, he said that shit gave him like, you know what I mean? My boy said it gave him like, you know what I'm saying? Send him through something because, he got shot up, you know? He said, man, that shit was deep, bro. You know what I'm saying? He told me to tell y'all was fortunate to see that shit because he said, like, most of the time, only people like us see that. It's only a select people see that type of shit like that. You know what I mean? In the community, it's a lot of bullet wounds and knife wounds in the black community for real. It's more common than you could ever believe. A lot of people shot, stabbed, shot up and cut up. For real. A lot of dudes got PTSD and shit. But tonight we gonna get back to this sister situation where she said our boys need to play with dolls. I'm telling you, I'm very disappointed. I'm very disappointed in this woman. I got introduced to this woman, I think, on Phil Donahue show. I think the first time I seen her years ago on Phil Donahue. And she was talking some real stuff and she built her reputation, talking about relationships and black people and stuff like that. But I always thought she was like pro family. I always thought she was pro family. I always thought she was for the betterment of black people. And this is not just about black people because she's talking about boys in general. And she's saying boys need to have dolls. I'm not understanding where that mentality is coming from. Where somebody will say, yeah, Goshen, I found out about her like I think in the 90s too on like Phil Donahue, if I ain't mistaken. Unless I seen her before I left here. But for her to say, we need to let our boys play with dolls. I'm really not understanding that psychologically. It's not really making any sense to me. Like when I was a little boy, there would have been no kind of way I could play with a doll. Seriously. Even if I didn't know nothing about being masculine, feminine, or none of that, as a little boy, if my parents gave me a doll, I would not have known what to do with it. And this is why I think she's misled. I, I don't know if she have any children and know how the mind of a child works, but a little boy would not know what to do with the doll. If you gave a little boy a doll to play with, it would mess his whole mind up because the little boys typically don't function anything like girls. Not the least little bit. So psychologically, she is 1,000,000,000% wrong. Now, some people, I would love to talk to somebody that feel like it would be all right to give the boys a doll. They're going to be thinking in terms of sex. So they'll be thinking in terms of girls and boys. And they'll be looking at them as both people like that. But that it's more to boys and girls than that. Boys are very physical. Boys are not and can and would never be less than physical naturally. You would have to go out of your way to deprogram a boy to not be physical. It would not be naturally a boy. Period. Before any programming or anything. Boys are a certain type of way, and girls are a certain type of way. This is a fact. They do not at all act alike, ever. They do not act alike. From the time they're born, when they're little infants, you can't tell much because they're not moving. So they're not moving, they're not doing anything to tell. But from the time they move physically, you say, so action figures would be different from dolls, right? Exactly. Let me explain why. A boy, notice they call it an action figure. What's the difference between an action figure and a doll? An action figure is something made to resemble something that's about action. The way it's made is totally different. And boys see that. You don't have to teach them that. They're boys by nature. You don't have to teach a girl how to pee out her vagina. And you don't have to teach a boy how to pee out his wee wee. She don't have nothing sticking out there to play with and mess around with. He do. And so me as a little boy, if you give me a doll, what am I supposed to do with it? The doll is not made in any type of way that represents any type of action. And so as a boy, I want to know what to do with this. A boy is not going to have nurturing skills. A boy doesn't grow breasts. So a boy is not going to have the vibe to breastfeed. Some of this stuff they're doing is totally ridiculous. There are distinct differences between boys and girls. They are nothing alike, not even close. Nothing alike. And if you give a little boy a baby doll, he would be confused. He would be confused. What the hell am I supposed to do with this? The baby doll would have to have something that represents some type of action. It couldn't be like it's just a baby doll that lay and sleep. A boy would not know what to do with that. And I had 3 girls and 3 boys. If you got a little boy, this is a fact, that got his bottle, he walking, he like 1.5. And you got a little girl, 1.5, she got her bottle. The little girl will never sling her bottle across the floor. Never. Your daughter will never throw her baby bottle across the floor to see how far it goes. Never. A little boy will throw his bottle to watch it go. He want to see it go far. Little girls are not interested in that. These are facts. None of my daughters ever slung their bottle across the floor. That's a little boy trait. Girls nurture their bottle. They hold on to that bad boy. She not throwing that. She not throwing that. A boy will separate from his bottle. A girl will not. These is facts. A boy will separate from his bottle in a minute, and he enjoys going to find it. A girl likes to know where hers is at. For real. These are facts from raising babies. They ain't nothing alike. You know what level your boy is at when he fling his bottle. The first time he fling his bottle, you know he reached a certain milestone. He finna get rough. That's when you know your baby boy is getting rough. That's when you know his balance. He's got his balance now. Oh, it's up. When he sling that bottle and watch it. He ain't gonna necessarily run to pick it up either. He might leave it there. But the girl, she gonna keep her bottle. And wherever she put her bottle down, she remember where it's at too. So if she lay her bottle on the couch, she would go back and get, you know what I'm saying? Baby girls are, you can tell they gonna have children because they keep up with stuff like you keep up with a baby. They do this by nature. You can see that she will keep up with a baby. You can see the boy wouldn't keep up with no baby. He might be all over the place. You might got to go get his bottle because, you know what I'm saying? You might got to go pick his bottle up yourself because he might not go pick that bottle back up. He leave it there. So that's why when you grow up, you see your wife say, get that coat and hang the coat up on the closet. You see how the men will throw our coat up on, just like the baby bottle. We'll throw our coat on the couch. Wife, she ain't throwing her coat on no couch. She hanging that up. She putting everything where it go. Men, not necessarily. Naturally. So when you see a man and he's real neat and he put everything up, he learned that. And he modeled himself to do that. But naturally, he ain't like that. Girls ain't naturally like that. They don't have to model to do nothing. And so when they talking about get boys bottles and to try to, and all this stuff, and Obama talk about boys need to be around gay men to get empathy. I think she foul because you a female. Stay in a female's place. You are a female. You cannot tell me how to raise my son, just like I cannot tell her how to raise a daughter. As a parent, you are limited. A father is very limited when it comes to his daughters. Very limited. The majority of his parenting will be backing up mama and make sure she do what her mother told her to do. But a boy is naturally limited when it comes to a girl. Even when you look at the fact that a little girl has a vagina and a father's not going to be really comfortable with cleaning her and stuff like that. Yeah, we'll change her diaper. You'll change her diaper. You'll change your son's diaper when they little bitty babies. But as she develop into a girl, you're not really going to be comfortable taking her panties off. You're going to be uncomfortable. It's just something we don't do. I've never done that with none of my daughters. I've only dealt with my daughters like that when they was little babies and they had diapers on. Then they was kind of like the same to a certain degree. But there was still a difference between the baby boy and the baby girl. The baby boy is always rougher and wilder. And the girls don't get rough and wild till like 7. And then they go through a rough phase, 7, 8, 9, where they can beat a boy up. But a baby girl ain't rough like a little baby boy. Ain't no way, by nature. And she's not like that because she playing with no baby doll. Because little baby girls, you don't even get them baby dolls. You don't be buying no newborn little girl no baby doll. Man, you are not buying no 2 or 3 year old little girl no damn baby dolls. These are facts. By the time she get a baby doll, she can talk good and shit like that. She 4 years old, 3, 4 years old. Baby dolls when they get a little bit older. Little babies don't hardly have no toys. They got little wind up shit that you gotta wind up for them to listen to. They don't be having toys. There's little stuff for them to tease and stuff, but little bitty kids don't have toys. Now that I know of, I ain't never known no my little kids that have no toys. They too little. What they can't hold it. They can't do nothing with it. They don't even know what to do with it. They first playing is in a walker, and you have little stuff hanging up in the walker. That's the first thing they learn to play with. So when she started talking about giving boys dolls, she talking about big ass boys like this. Who in their right man gonna give their son a doll like this to play with? What if she lost her goddamn man? Talking about your boy gonna learn empathy playing with a doll. How? The doll's an inanimate object. You got the boy pretending he a mommy. You're messing the boy up. And you buy a boy, and you buy him a baby doll. And you talking about you doing something. Try to change nature from the way we live. Because now you got these homes and all this stuff, and you don't got to raise warriors to defend the village and stuff no more. So you're not raising warriors and stuff no more. You raise a bunch of wimps and weirdos, and then all of a sudden, when the young man gets 20, now you realize you need police. So now you got to take this boy that you ain't taught him how to be a man. You ain't taught him no man moves. And you want to make him a police officer. That's why we got all these weird ass police officers. That's why you got police officers mistreating people and stuff because you baby them. You ain't growing them up as men. So you got this big ass punk police officer. How having a dial gonna make them a better police officer? They're gonna be even less equipped to deal with crime, to deal with people. What the hell is my son supposed to do with a dial? Pretend he feeding it? And now you teaching a boy to look all under a girl's dress and to take a girl's panties off. Somebody trying to tell me that's smart? To take a little boy and have him undressing a girl? When I was coming up, I had a G.I. Joe. You might change his jacket or something, but you ain't take his pants off hardly none. If he had a whole new outfit, you might take all the stuff off, but you wasn't comfortable without undressing him totally. That was too much work. Most of the time you get up and play with him, whatever the fuck he got on, whatever army suit he had on when you bought him, that's what that motherfucker finna have on. You ain't changing no damn clothes on no G.I. Joe. You switch his gun out, you sit him in his tank, you sit him in his little car, stuff like that. But you ain't undressing. We don't dress. We don't be undressing no G.I. Joe and dressing them back. We don't do that. When it's a boy, you gotta give us accessories. We like accessories. We like the gun. We like the knife. We like the backpack. We like the tent. But we ain't want to change no slacks though. Girls will want to change the girl's clothes. Boys do not have fun changing no clothes on no dial. Period. These people is making stuff up. They making up stuff. This is false. Oh, that's false information that they putting out there. If you got arrested, man, you was not changing his clothes. You were throwing him around, pretending he jumping off stuff, beating other person up. All you wanted him to do to beat dude up. That's it. And to play between the two and talk like it's the two. That's it. Yeah, look how he looking at the baby doll. Look at that. And look what color shirt his mama got him on. A purple shirt. So whoever was raising him is on some crazy stuff anyway. Yeah, I can understand if it's the Rainbow Crew, but this lady was never no Rainbow Crew. That's why I'm confused. She was always talking about strong men, women, and women respecting men and all that. So this is what confusing me. This coming from her makes no sense. That's why I said she must have lost her mind. Listen, for people that watched her back in the day, is it in her character to say we should get our boys dials? Do that fit the character that we knew her by? She's totally out of character, unless I'm tripping. Azim, she out of character though, ain't she? There's no way this woman that I seen matches what she's saying. It don't make no sense. She said we should get boys dials. And I'm like, I'm confused. She's 71. All right, she's 71. Maybe she's going a little senile. Because she definitely ain't eating right because her face all swole up. So she definitely ain't plant-based. She definitely eat meat and cheese and stuff. You can see that on you. When you eat a certain kind of way, you can see it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, she always talked about Elijah Muhammad, and she always talked about women respecting men. So when she came out on the show and said, you know, we need to get our sons dials, Elijah would have a fit. That's why I say she might be going a little senile, because I know Elijah would look at you crazy. Elijah Muhammad seemed like the type of person wouldn't even want you to get a boys, G.I. Joe. When I think of Elijah, I don't know. I think he would be saying something that I wouldn't know what he gonna say. I wouldn't think Elijah was gonna say what I'm saying. I look at Elijah Muhammad like he would say something so crazy about G.I. Joes and stuff, you wouldn't even want one. Dude was deep. You know what I'm saying? Am I tripping, Isaiah? Elijah would be the said something make you don't even want to get your son no G.I. Joe. Am I lying? Elijah be like, why'd you get in them this evil war person teaching them war? You know what I'm saying? Elijah wasn't even like G.I. Joe. He probably said something crazy like, you should be getting them books. You know, Elijah way on some high level. He'll say you get the kids books when they are there. He'll say get them books, teach them how to plant food in the garden. This Elijah Muhammad, he way up here. He way up here. Okay? This one of the high minds in the world. I could figure out what most people say. Elijah's so deep, I could not tell you what Elijah might say. That's out of my league. Elijah's out of my league. Okay. I'm not in that league. Okay. Elijah's out of my league. I can't tell you what he might say. I know what I know, and I know what I don't know. That's why I'm so wise. I don't pretend I know what I don't know. I know for a fact whatever he would say, it would be deeper than anything I would say. I know for a fact whatever Elijah would say about this, I'll be like, whoa, that's deep. I know that. But it wouldn't. I don't believe I could pinpoint what he would say. I don't believe that. I don't believe I could say what he would say. I know he wouldn't like the dial, and I don't think he would like toys too much. I think he would want you to start raising them to be productive out the gate. Elijah be wanting you to have them in the garden. You know what I'm saying? Showing them how to plant. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh no. He'll probably say you should be reading to him. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he'll like a lot of toys I don't think Elijah would like. I know for sure he wouldn't like no G.I. Joe. Ain't no way. This is what you young people got to understand. You got to know when you get around a different man and just accept it and stop thinking you could change stuff. If you get the chance to sit around Elijah Muhammad, just accept the fact that you ain't going to know what he talk about and he going to be saying stuff over your head. And don't waste your time disagreeing with them. That's why I be trying to teach these people over here. Like, just listen sometime. You can't be disagreeing because you're missing the knowledge. So if I get to sit with Elijah Muhammad, I'm not saying shit. I wouldn't say nothing unless I wanted him to maybe go deeper into something he said. But other than that, I got to suck that in. I'm not qualified to question him when his mind is way out there. His mind is different. I wish I could have a mind like that. You know, and he's like real strict. I'm not that strict. He gonna say something else, man. He gonna say what he gonna say you should do with your children. It gotta be written in the book. It's gonna be mind blowing. He gonna be trying to make the children be some geniuses. But he ain't finna say get no doll to no boy. Because he probably ain't gonna necessarily want no doll with no little girl. He probably say something like you teaching her how to get pregnant too early. Or who knows what he might say. Because I can't say he would like no dolls. To be honest with you. because he was so much into being productive, he'll probably be telling you you need to be doing something to show them how to be productive early so they ain't got to wait and try to get productive later. Something like that. But he ain't finna say, I know for sure he ain't finna say, get no boys, no dials. I don't understand what they mean. When they be talking about empathy, I be getting confused. When Obama say teach boys empathy, I'm confused because he ain't got no boys. And in a normal family, boys get empathy from dealing with their mother, their aunties, and their sisters. That's how we get empathy. We get to experience the situation with Dials from our sister playing with her dial. Okay, we get empathy from being around our siblings, your baby brother, the way you got to take care of him. You can watch a 3-year-old the way he trying to take care of the 14-month-old. You can see it. That's how our children learn empathy from their brothers and sisters. I don't know what Obama talking about. I don't know what he talking about. I had a little sister. That's how I learned empathy. Taking care of my little sister. I didn't need to be around no gay man. What is he talking about? And what gay men? My question to Obama is, if they need to be around gay men, what would have been around back in my daddy's era when it wasn't no gay men? Because we don't understand, at one time there was no gay men. Not like that. All these gay men, that's new. There was no gay men. These are facts. When I was growing up, there was no gay men. Very few. That dude gay and that dude gay. It wasn't a whole bunch of gays. And growing up with pets, you know how to take care of your rabbit. You know how to take care of the dog, the puppy, the birds, the cat, the kitty cat. That's how you learn. That you got to feed the turtle. You got to feed the fish. Real talk, FBA page boy, you on $1 billion. You 100% right, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not understanding why this lady say we need to let our little boys play with dolls. I don't understand that none. I got 3 sons and 3 daughters. My sons don't need no dolls. They got sisters. I'm confused. My children didn't need no dolls. They had baby brothers and baby sisters. That be they doll. You ever had a child like 3, 4 years old when you had a little baby? And you ever notice how your son or your daughter be on that baby? They be on that baby. They be standing on that baby. They be watching that baby. They can't wait to get their hands on that baby. So I don't understand what she's saying because the kids, they get real babies. She not making no sense. Why would you have to go buy a baby when your children is around real babies? If you're in a normal situation, You know what I'm saying? If I got my son, then I got my daughter younger. They say, well, your daughter ain't gonna be around no baby. My sister might have a baby. Aunties have a baby. People be bringing babies. The families be having babies, and everybody know the baby. In the black family, babies is famous. Am I lying? Babies is super famous in the black community. Super famous. Everybody know the baby. When I grew up, we had the littlest one outside with us was Paw Paw. Everybody was taking care of Paw Paw. He was everybody's baby. The whole block know Paw Paw. This the littlest baby outside following the other kids. That's how you learn empathy. We never don't let Paw Paw cry. We baby Paw Paw. We didn't let nothing happen to Paw Paw. Bro, you ain't cooking until you talk about. Well, here go the thing. Why you don't go cook? Why I gotta cook your food for you? Why I gotta cook for you, a grown man? Why I gotta cook a message? Why you don't cook it? Why I'm greater than you? Why I gotta do it? Why can't you go live, be interesting, and then do what you saying somebody else should do? Are you like not good enough? Are you incompetent? Are you weak or something? So why can't you do it? And why can't you get a decent name instead of just talking smack and make yourself a intelligent person on the internet instead of a lame like that trying to tell somebody else what to say? And for the record, I don't give a damn about Liberia. Liberia's a long way away. I don't give a damn, bro, about Liberia. Liberia is a non relevant conversation in my life. I live in Chicago, Illinois. I have no relationship with Liberia. I have children here I got to deal with. I got daughters got to go to college. My daughter's going to just got out of medical college. She's going. We have real life situations. Everybody's not a weirdo like you trolling on the internet that don't have a life. Go have you some babies and get a life and grow up, okay? All right? And if you feel something need to be talked about, be a grown man and go talk about it. That don't depend on me to do something that you can't do, okay? All right? And it's a block party. Real simple. While you say something happened to her, she got voodooed and drugged or something. I heard that lady talk before. The lady I heard never would have said that. I don't. I'm tripping too. Wow. I don't know what's going on. She might be getting senile. She might not be eating right. So she might be getting senile or something. I don't know. But I know it's bad information and it's false information. It doesn't make like any type of sense. It made the same amount of sense as Obama. Obama sounds stupid, you know. He should be ashamed of himself because he said something that ain't even practical. Because he's basically saying we got to go find a gay person. He made it like there's just a gay dudes out here that our children could be around. You know, some totally foolishness. You know what I'm saying? And when I see him, I'm going to tell him, say, bro, why you said we need to put our children around some gay people like it's just where they at, just in my pocket? You said that was unrealistic. How am I gonna go find a gay man that don't want to sleep with my son that ain't no pedophile? Why would I take a chance to put my son around somebody based on their sexual preference? And especially that like men and my son is a man. So why would I take my son around men that are attractive to males and my son is a male? Why would I take him around gay males and take a chance with him grooming my son? And nobody really, I check Obama like you do know people be grooming. Like why would you tell people to put their children in danger? I don't think that was no puppet stuff. I just think he showed a lapse in intelligence. I don't believe it was no puppet stuff. If you look at that situation, I'm gonna keep it a billion. Obama was pandering to Michelle's brother, who I believe is probably gay. And I also believe Obama probably really did and probably held that against him a little bit. And now he's trying to show Michelle that he cool with her brother. I mean, that's what it looked like to me. It looked like he was pandering to Michelle's brother, trying to make up for really probably not messing with dude, and kind of trying to say that now he's got tolerance and all of this. But Michelle's brother definitely seemed gay to me. If he's not gay, my bad. But you know what I'm saying? He just carry himself like a gay man. He does not carry himself like a masculine man. Not to me. He's a little feminine, and Michelle's a little masculine. There's some type of role reversal stuff going on there. But for him to say that, he was just talking crazy, just like this lady. She's saying we need to let our sons play with dolls. I never wanted to play with my sister's doll. Nobody told me not to. So I don't understand what she's saying. My sister was a year younger than me. She had dolls. They just didn't look like nothing I wanted to play with. I wanted to play with army men. I wanted to play with trucks and cars, stuff that moved, stuff that rolled. The dolls did not look at. I didn't see no kind of way was I interested in playing with a doll. Nobody told me don't play with them. Uh, uh, M, I'm hotel. I'm a hotel. Uh, you a hotel. So I don't know. Your name is a little weird, and I don't do conspiracies, bro. So I don't do conspiracies. Conspiracies have to show me the conspiracy. I don't just everything is a conspiracy. That's some new internet stuff that's going to backfire. So you've got no proof that nobody told her to say this or that this is no type of conspiracy. So I don't do the weird conspiracy stuff, bro, because that just has gone with the internet. The conspiracy stuff, has become ridiculous. And it's just misleading so many people to the point where you go to TikTok or you go to Instagram and it's just conspiracy after conspiracy after conspiracy. And everybody's just kicking conspiracies. You know what I'm saying? You go on Instagram, you go TikTok, and it's just everything is a conspiracy. And it gets to the point where you know this is not true. And it's just conspiracy, conspiracy, conspiracy. So everything happens. They're looking for a backstory. It's more than what they look for. So they want to say somebody sent her to say that on a show that ain't even that popular, right? So when you look at it, if you're gonna send her to put that out there, you're not sending her on the show she was on because hardly nobody gonna hear she said it. So let's say what she doing is a conspiracy. It would be a failed conspiracy because she said it on the Dread and the Ballhead show. Ain't nobody watching that shit like that. So I can't see no powers that be putting her on that show to say something that's not going to get really no. It's not going to get no. It's going to get all backlash. So it's like, if I was doing it, that would definitely be a fail. Like that would be a fail. So they would have to be really stupid if they was, you see what I'm saying? Imhotep, if they was putting that out as a conspiracy, they fail miserably. That would be the worst way to do it. Because them brothers show ain't all that. And she's not really relevant where people would listen to her. So she wouldn't change very much. And then if you watch the whole thing, go watch the whole thing. I'm Hotel. She tried to talk about something else. So people like me, I'm picking this one part out. But if you watch the whole conversation, it was really all over the place. You know what I'm saying? Go watch the conversation, understand what I'm saying. When you watch the conversation, you can see if somebody would have sent her, they would have did a better job than that. I will tell. If it is a conspiracy, they suck, bro. They got to get some new conspiracy people because it's not. She's not doing a good job. Not many people will see it. I just seen it. The show she's on is. Yeah. So I don't know if it's gonna get a lot of legs. It wouldn't change. It wouldn't be like because even Obama, what Obama said was a failure. That flopped. Yeah, that flopped horribly. So like if Obama's thing was a conspiracy, that was a flop too. So it would be like you have to look at some of the stuff and say, no, this couldn't be planned by no real conspiracy people because it's it's horrible. Because Obama, he didn't even make no sense to make that no conspiracy. He just sounded stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like when Obama said, you need to go find some gay friends for your sons to be around. If that's a conspiracy, that's the worst. That's probably one of the worst attempts at a conspiracy ever. Like the idea with a conspiracy is to get people to do some shit. That had a whole. It was so stupid that it'll never get no legs to do nothing. That was the. Did you see that? I'm gonna tell you. See when Obama said that stupid shit? It's like I tell you this: if those are conspiracies, Damn, they losing like a mug. You know that? If that's a conspiracy, they need to get a new conspiracy people. They need to hire some better conspiracy people because these are fails right here. These ain't gonna do nothing. If anything, they did damage. Yeah, if anything, bro, they did crazy damage. It wasn't a good one because it's like Obama didn't make no damn sense. Hey, Imhotep. Obama said the conspiracy can't nobody do. Everybody like, where the hell am I gonna find a gay guy for my son? So that's why, like, you could tell, hey, Imhotep, you could tell Obama was just talking because it didn't even make no sense, man. Man, it didn't even make no sense. He said that you need to find a gay person for your son to be around. And I know when he went back and he listened to that later, I know he's like, damn, what the? Because it's like, bruh, some people was pissed he said it, but I'm the type of person thinking through. I'm like, okay, let's say I take your advice. Step A, find a gay dude. Dude. You know what I'm saying? And you want all of us with sons to find a gay dude. Where are we going to find all these gay dudes to talk to all our sons? Like, really? Because it's advice for all of us, right? It would tell. It's advice for all of us. Obama dumbass said, all of us, millions of us, fathers with sons, we got to go find a gay dude that want to be bothered. Then you dissing the gay dudes because gay dudes is like, who the fuck said I want to be bothered with y'all? I got shit to do. You know what I'm saying? So we got to find a gay dude that ain't got nothing to do. We got to find a whole bunch of gay dudes that ain't got nothing to do that want to talk to our sons some kind of way in between their work schedule and being gay with their gay boyfriend. I guess they're going to find I, it's like, okay, when is this gonna happen? How do we schedule it? What day is the gay dude available where I can drop my son off? And then, do we got to find a gay dude app? So Obama need to come out with the find a gay dude app so I could go to the app and find a gay dude that's available. Okay, are you gay? No, you ain't gay. You bad. No, I need somebody just straight gay. Okay. Okay, here's a gay dude. Okay, use a gay dude where my son is available on Friday evening, Saturday, and Sunday. Oh, you ain't available. Down. Okay, I gotta try to find a gay dude that's available for my son to go and learn some empathy. Oh, by the way, do you teach empathy? You don't know what empathy. You don't fuck with empathy. That's what I'm saying. My bad, gay dude. Obama told me to find one of y'all. This is not my fault. I will leave you alone. I know you got a busy day. Obama told me to find a gay dude like they just outside. Like, hey, who's gay that want to be help my son get some empathy? Some of this shit. When you think about it, when these dudes just get out here and get to talking, and then they don't think it through, and then you go back and you say, that was really stupid what you said. You said some make believe shit, bro. Where are we gonna find a gay dude at? That ain't got nothing to do but to teach my son empathy. And is my son gonna go? Cause I got a whole lot of questions. And my neighbors need a gay dude too. I got 4 neighbors got sons. We need 4 gay dudes, Obama. that teach empathy. You know what I'm saying? The dumbest, just hey, they be trying to say something, Imhotep, to try to sound, intelligent, pandering. But then when you repeat it back, you be like, hold on, dude. I know you didn't just say that I gotta go find a gay dude first. Let's just start there. Cause I don't even know where to look for a gay dude that even want to be bothered with me or my son. Then I got my son. He this is the whole thing. You can tell he ain't got no sons because y'all answer me a question. Can you get your son to go talk to a gay dude? Can you get your son to do anything? Because if you got children like I got children, your son is not cooperative. Okay? So you gotta negotiate with your son if he wanna go and talk to a gay dude and get empathy. And I don't care if he's only 12, he'll get mad and throw a hissy fit and say, no, I don't want to go. Dad, what do you mean a gay guy gonna teach me something? I don't, you know what I'm saying? And so he's just talking. When you start, because what I do a lot of times is I think it through, Imhotep. So even though they say something crazy, I say, okay, let's see what it is to do this. How do we do this? Okay, let's start with A. I would like to start with finding a gay dude, but first I got to start with Marvin, my son. So, Obama, can you tell me how I can talk hard-headed Marvin into going to see a gay dude? Because Marvin don't be want to listen to his daddy. And Marvin hanging with his boy Richard and his boy Phil. And if I tell Marvin he got to go talk to a gay dude, he going to tell Richard and Phil, and they going to say, your daddy might be gay. They going to say, your daddy crazy. Richard and Phil, is going to say it's a bad idea. They ain't going to go. So my son ain't going to want to go. Yeah, let our sons read the gospel, which, Reverend Tim, if they got sons, that's like pulling teeth if they don't want to read the gospel. I don't know why these people think that these children cooperate. People would say, so Pharaoh, none of your children cooperate. My children that cooperated with things I wanted, I was fortunate in those particular situations because typically children is uncooperative. Okay? They'll go to school. They'll do the basics. But when extra shit, okay, see, there's a word when you're raising children. It's a word, it's a serious word. It's a serious, serious word that all parents know. And this word is a big thing you gotta deal with. And it's a word called teenager. See? See, it's a word called teenager. And if you ain't had no teenagers and tried to get no teenagers to do nothing, and you think that you just big daddy and big mama and your teenagers gonna do what you tell them to do? No. Your 5-year-old will do what you tell them to do. Your 3-year-old, your 2-year-old, your 5, your 7, your 9, your 10, shoot, your 11, your 12-year-old. But your teenager, they don't cooperate. You have to get lucky and get a teenager that cooperate. Teenagers don't cooperate. So I don't know how Obama would have got my youngest son to go talk to a gay dude. He could have came tried to show me. But as soon as I try to introduce my son to a gay dude, my son gonna be looking at me like, "Daddy, is you a pedophile?" Or this guy, like, it's gonna creep my son out because this man like males, and my son's a male. So I would ask Obama, what you think about taking your girls around heterosexual men to teach them stuff? He'll be like, no. See what I'm saying? So let me get this straight. Heterosexual men might try to sleep with your daughters, so you'll be thinking about that. But what make you think homosexual men won't try to sleep with our sons? We not finna take our daughters around men that like women. So why would we take our sons around men that like men? This is not good parenting. I'm not taking my sons around no men that like men that might start liking my fucking son. And you want me to take this person's word? You want me to put my children in somebody else's hand and trust them? So this lady saying, go get my son a doll, let our sons play with dolls. That sound crazy. Because if I bought a doll and sat it in the house, my son would never pick the motherfucker up. So when she say, let our sons play with dolls, I would have to make my son play with that. My son not gonna play with no doll. He gonna look at the doll. That ain't fun. My son wanna play the video game. My son is look at a doll and ain't gonna know he's supposed to play with it. So they be saying crazy stuff like your son ain't gonna know he's supposed to play with a doll. So what now? You saying you want me to go teach him to play with a doll? Like here's a doll. You need to play with this. She talking crazy. That's like not normal. And then she said she represent Allah. She looked like she Islamic, and Islam is totally against homosexuality. And people crazy. None of that makes no sense as a parent. Well, I'm gonna go get my son a doll, and I gotta make him play with it, cause I gotta make him play with it. So that's why I asked her. So if I go buy my son a doll, you think he's just gonna play with it just cause I bought it? No. Your children play with the toys they like, and the toys they don't like, they don't play with. And if you got a son coming up and he in the city and all these other boys getting all these racing cars and shit like that, your son ain't gonna want no fucking doll. That lady talking crazy. She acting like the son gonna go along with this. That's what there's a flaw in it. Like get your son a doll, like your son gonna like it. Your son might say, "What the hell is this?" And what I'm gonna say, play with it anyway. I want you to learn empathy. He gonna go to school and say, "My daddy crazy. He bought me a fucking doll like I'm a girl." That might turn my son off, make him crazy, make him a homophobe. That ain't gonna necessarily work out right when I'm trying to introduce my son to some stuff that ain't natural. She said, do something ain't natural. Get a doll for your son. When girls don't even like dolls when they get a certain age. Girls don't fuck with dolls like that once they get a certain age. They do that when they little girls. Boys grow up quicker than girls. Girls still be on the porch, still be trying to be around mommy. Boys be on their bike 4 blocks over already. How the hell I'ma raise my boy like a girl? These people crazy. They just say anything. They just saying anything. It's the internet. It's the TV and the internet. They just get up there and just say anything. They don't think it through or nothing. They just be talking. When you think back, you say none of this don't make no sense. Let your boys play with dolls. Let me see how many children she had, because she might not have had no children. She had 12 children, 9 of them adopted. She was married to Solomon Ali from 1965 until his death in 1985, and later to Yahya until his death in 2013. So she raised 12 children. 9 of them wasn't even hers. And all the men kept dying. So how the men kept dying? He from 1965 to 1985, he died. 20 years with him, he died. And then she married the other one. And then his ass died too. What the hell? Who the hell is Solomon Ali? I don't know who Solomon Ali is. Hold on. She don't look like she can give me no advice. Okay, this is him. I'm confused. Why she look so old on this picture? I don't know, but this is a little weird. They're not really showing. Okay, this is Yaha. He looked old as hell. He passed away. Okay, so where's this other one? This lady just be talking, okay? I can see that now. Because there ain't even no hardly no pictures of her and her husband or nothing. She just talking. I see her with her husband, Yaya. I don't know. There's some funny business going on, though. I tell you that. Y'all tell me what y'all think. I don't know, man. Okay, look. Now, one thing that's weird is the way she look. Unless I'm tripping. But every time I see her, she ain't never looked like this. She ain't never looked like that. It looked like a whole different lady. Oh no. What y'all think? It look weird, don't it? I don't know. Anytime she had 12 children, but all of them was adopted except a few. I don't know, man. Okay, okay. Okay, it's some weird, okay? Because you had all them children. How you going to give us advice? And you had all them babies. How you gonna give us advice about children? And you adopted all them children. And some people be adopting children to make money. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying that's what she was doing. I'm just saying. I never looked into her, but it's hardly no pictures of her. It's hardly no pictures of her. Okay. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, so she's 71. So she's doing good to be 71. She born 1954. I'm born 1958. Okay. Okay. Mm, she just talking. She ain't even saying nothing that make no sense. I mean, you look up her biography and everything, it don't make no sense. Bottom line, what she said was crazy, okay? Totally ridiculous. What Obama said is crazy, totally ridiculous, okay? That's why our children got parents, so we can raise them. We don't want to be nobody else trying to tell us how to raise our children. I would not take no child rearing advice for her, and she adopted all those children, okay? She had a bunch of children that she didn't even give birth to. So ain't no telling what's going on with that, but it don't make no sense, whatever it is. Them statements and all of that is foolishness. And we're going to end that there. We got to the bottom of it. It's weird. It's weirdo stuff. It ain't no need to look at no more. When you look, you can't find no pictures of her too much. She married to all these old dudes that passed away. She adopted all these children. Man, that's too weird for me. I don't know what to say. Other than I wouldn't listen to her. Facts. Victory.